Today we want to talk about harmful reproductive practices. The same way people take pride in their appearance like this, they also take pride in their appearance down there.
Of course, definitely. It's not the same way men have ego with their sexual prowess, use of toxic substances during sexual acts.
Alum.
Why?
People use alum to tighten vagina. It's a thing now in Nigeria. I don't know if you know.
It's true.
Woman talked about how her husband brought snail and used it on her. She was having the best sex of her life. That snail is good. That's slimy.
Okay, as the lubrication.
Somebody came up and said that he came for a sexual and reproductive health workshop just to learn how to last for 8 hours. So on social media, you see men who be like, me? They call me Nakademus now. I did not waiting no go. Who be carpenter for where I did? If you see a child and you say he doesn't know about sex, you're lying to yourself. I've seen ladies who've spoken to me personally. I'm like, what's enjoyment of sex if I'm not choked? Hello, you're welcome to another episode of the Intimate Matters podcast. Thank you for joining us once again. And you know that this is your go-to podcast as it pertains to issues that affect sexual and reproductive health. And for today, I want to talk about something that affects all of us. Sometimes it's by commission or by omission. Sometimes it's because we know it. Sometimes it's because we do not know what we're actually doing. Today, we want to talk about harmful reproductive practices. And this will cut across, the one we do as individuals, the one we do, as a group of people in terms of harmful cultural practices, and even the ones we do as it pertains to relationship and as it pertains to emotions. I'm joined today by the very amazing pharmacist, Yesi Odion. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Nasakwa, for this opportunity once again.
All right, so we want to, cut across what we've been doing, basically. So for harmful practices, it's just basically the things you do that, are detrimental to your health, because we're focusing on sexual and reproductive health. But in this context, detrimental to your sexual and reproductive health, and this will cut across what happens to the males and what happened to the female, just everything like that. And as the male, I'm going to start, discuss something that pertains to so many women. Let's talk about the one that is quite well known. Let's talk about female genital mutilation, or what we call female circumcision, because that is how they call it. I know where you're from, BBO. I know our forefathers used to do it. So talk to us about female genital mutilation and how it's harmful to the health of the girl child.
Okay. Harmful sexual practices does not only affect sexual and reproductive health.
Okay.
It goes on to affect a person's physical, emotional, and mental health.
Okay.
And some other times, it can also violate human rights.
Okay.
So for this female genital mutilation, it violates human rights very well. So the fact that our forefathers used to do it back then, they were living in ignorance. It also affects their emotional health. They can suffer from depression. They can also have low self-esteem. As for their physical health, it affects them in the way that initially they would be having the severe pains, bleeding, scarring. Okay, the scarring will come over time. Sometimes it may even form keloid, and they may not like the appearance of the environment. And from there, that's where their self-esteem will be affected. Then another complication of the female genital mutilation can have infections that can occur from poor wound healing or poor
wound management.
Yes, wound management. So female genital mutilation is the partial or total removal of the female genitalia. And, well, why they did it? Just to curtail, what's that word?
Promiscuity.
Yes.
So, but does it, okay, before we go further, does it actually curtail promiscuity? Do you think it curtails promiscuity?
Then it did. Because definitely, their sexual drive would be highly diminished.
Okay.
Yes. So, that will now make them loyal, and it's not by choice. They have no choice. They just have to stay there. They have no feelings. So.
But I was thinking, because I'm saying this, I know someone.
Okay.
Who actually had a form of FGM, that's female genital mutilation, done to her. Our own was like the type 1, where her clitoris was actually like
Okay.
severed off. But I realized that I wouldn't want to call her promiscuous, but I realized that she ended
Is
up having sex a whole lot. As
okay.
at when I knew, as at when she told me. And I think the rationale from what she told me was that because she didn't find pleasure, we know the role that clitoris play in the whole sex pleasure. Because she couldn't find pleasure, she was looking for it.
Okay.
So, the thing you're playing, maybe it's this guy. So let me try this guy. Maybe it's this guy. Let me try somebody else. Maybe it's this thing.
Okay.
Let me try
She
something else and
was
the rest.
very adventurous.
Yeah, she became very adventurous to try to see how she can get, even if it's a tint of
Okay.
pleasure out of it. And I know that this may not have been possible before then due to, the traditional and cultural it's easier now. People are now, more free to make choices and to do what they could be. But this could also be on the flip side,
Yes,
especially in
definitely.
this where people want to try a whole lot of things. It may lead people to want to explore and
Okay.
actually explore more. So apart from the immediate effect that they have, like you talk about the infection, the wound issues, the self-esteem is like something
Okay.
that happens immediately. So what are like possibly affecting like the long term?
The self-esteem is a long term
Okay.
because you can try to tell the person that they can explore other sexual options, but because of the way they look, some people take pride in the way they appear. Even the small thing as pimple can damage their self-esteem.
So sorry. So some people take, because when you say appear, the same way people take pride in their appearance like this, they also take pride in their appearance down there.
Of course, definitely. It's not the same way men have ego with their sexual
Okay.
prowess. So if a woman is to belittle them or make them sound appear that they're not doing well, they would feel somehow.
No.
Yeah, so same thing with the women. They can also feel this low self-esteem when they feel they may not be able to satisfy or feel any form of pleasure or to relate with the man in the other room.
All right. All right.
Yeah, so you can also have fertility issues depending on how the scarring was done. Infections, all those secondary things that may occur from the poor management. Sometimes the instruments used in the mutilation too could be infected, all those poor hygiene. Um, it can also affect the menstrual cycle of the woman.
Okay.
Yes. So those are like long-term
Yeah, so because
complications.
because there's also this one that as part, I think like the type 4, if I'm not mistaken, the infabulation, where
Okay.
sometimes the opening of the vagina is sewn either completely
See,
or partially and has to be open later. Sometimes it's not even
it's not even
open.
open. So
Yeah,
you can
somebody
have
has
problem
to.
with childbirth,
Yeah, somebody has to
urinary,
forcefully want to penetrate to open. Think of the context
different
where
things.
somebody part of the vagina is sewn shut, and then somebody has to like forcefully penetrate to open it up. Damn, that was a whole lot of pain.
Brutal.
That was brutal. So now also we look at this one. It might not be really quite common in the Nigerian space, but in our
Okay.
neighboring African country, we look at breast ironing.
Breast ironing.
Yeah.
I really do not understand the context for that.
No, no, because they have this thing that, especially that now we see children are having puberty quite early. We're looking at 8, 9. So they feel a child of 8 and 9, why should be having, growing breast? So what do we
Okay.
do? Use something hot.
Some of them the breast is not even coming out, but the iron in preparation for when the breast is going to come out. Who does
Yeah.
that?
So sometimes future, to be, what was that thing they say? Okay, they're preparing in advance, right? They're
Being
preparing in advance,
proactive.
but it's very detrimental to the health of the child, but like the physical health, the psychological health. Um, a child grows up and takes pride and looks beautiful by the way they appear. The breast is like one of the natural forms of appearance, right? So if anything is done, like we talk about breast ironing, that to impede that development, it may affect self-esteem. So I'm a child, I'm here, and I'm seeing my mates from other countries, they've already grown breast. And unfortunately, this may also affect that. As at the time they feel the child should now come to have the breast,
And
whenever
it's no
it
longer
is that it
there.
tickles them, there may be abnormality in the actual growth of this breast. So that becomes a problem. So this is an harmful practice. If you're watching this from any African country that do this, please tell them.
It's
that
not
this is
right.
harmful, quite very harmful. And this is the Intimate Matters podcast. If you're just joining us, please do well. I'm sure you've subscribed, so do well to share these videos to others so that they may learn, and follow us on all our social media platform, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on TikTok. You can join our personal WhatsApp group, and we will be glad to answer your question and also to take any recommendation if you have any topic that you would want us to talk about. So let's move forward, and let's talk about the ones we do personally, because this one is like hinging. This one is like hinging culture.
Okay.
People used to do it. Our forefathers used to do it. Countries do it. Any groups do it. So what I like some personal practices that we do, either on ourselves or like on someone else.
Okay, we can have non-consensual sex. That one is common, where we can have the rape, sexual assault. Yes, one person may not be willing, and the other forces.
I'm just tempted to like curious to ask like what counts like consent to you.
Consent is when an individual agrees to a sexual activity in their right frame of mind, not when they're under
Duress or alcohol or something.
alcohol or drugs. Yes, that's why people are advised to avoid drugs, avoid alcohol, because at that point, your mindset is being messed with. So you could be agreeing to something that normally you wouldn't. And now the person taking advantage of that situation can be charged for raping.
All right, so because I'm looking at because we know okay let's be we see people do this thing maybe in the whole sexual act from meeting or from the time we are chatting whatever happens before. Where exactly does this concept? Because I'm telling you, we're supposed to meet. You're supposed to come over to my house today and everything. Is it that to get consent, I or you should ask each other and be like, "Do you want to do this?"
Okay. For that, I believe communication is key.
Okay.
Clear communication. Unless both of you are fine with hide and seek. You just want to test the waters and see how things go. And you are both okay with that fact. Not where one person likes their things being clearly defined and the other likes to play it hot. So there has to be a level of understanding that, okay, this person wants this and I want this. And you are fine if it starts. Or you don't want it to be immediately. You just want to see, maybe by touching. If you're aroused enough, you can now go ahead. At least there should be some a form of communication about that
No,
aspect.
because we're looking at, sometimes from wearing, okay, let's be quite candid with what happens. From wearing clothes to wearing clothes come off our body can be quite fast. You understand? Sometimes you don't even know how it happened.
Okay.
Few minutes ago, I was wearing clothes. The next moment, I'm not wearing clothes, and this is so because how then? If I'm with you talked about if I'm with you, and maybe we did not clearly communicate and like, but maybe we're now here. The hormones is raging, the vibes is vibing. Everything is okay. I'm looking at the context of how you put consent into this stuff. So I touch you, you touch me. We're picking, we're doing stuff, we're smooching, a whole lot of things. We're in that place is it that somebody should pause that whole program and be like, see, we are hitting
Yes, the person who has a stronger ability to say no or wait, what are we doing? But if both of them are not having that constraint, definitely anything can happen. And at the end of the day, they'll play blame games. That
Oh, no,
it was
because
not me.
but why is it that? Because thank you for bringing that up. This issue of blame games, like you said, somebody's supposed to pause and ask, "What is this? What's happening?" Right? Do you realize? Let's be quite candid with what we see. That let's say nobody asks questions
That's when
and
the
we fire
disaster is
down.
going to happen.
Right now, who do you think, oftentimes between the male and the female, who do you think is always blamed? If let's say we start after the whole thing, we start throwing blame game. Who is
Definitely, the society will blame the man
why?
because they feel since he's a superior one that he is more in a position to take advantage of the situation.
Okay, so he don't reach where they talk about abuse. Man don't superior. But if we talk about man being superior over woman, everybody will shout, no, God created us in his own image. Everybody should be equal.
Oh
Blah, blah, blah.
well, I'm always of
Even
the
if the
opinion.
context in a committed relationship, they say man is there. They say which head? Head of state, head of fish.
Not me, not me. I'm also of the opinion that women are the weaker vessel. So yes, but in emotional strength People have different strengths.
Okay.
It could be the woman or the man. So in that case, one of them can be their savior. But where both of them do not have that strength or restraint, definitely it will happen, and definitely there will be a blame game.
Because I no, I don't have issues with the blame game because I know after the whole thing, after the whole ta and everything has calmed down, people tend to I declare people normal. But I don't have the issues with them doing their blame game. I have issues with the society's perspective that two people, two consenting adults,
Yes.
even though none of them consented, involve themselves in an act. And for whatever reason, maybe they are selfish reasons, or maybe to feel holier than thou to someone else, they start to play blame games, and one is blamed than the other.
The more reason why you should mind your business when you see such
No, no,
fights.
no, no. But okay, but this thing is happening every. If I touch you and you touch me, this is happening. Why do I have to take the blame because I'm just the man and the other person doesn't take the
When
blame?
when a consequence of an action materializes, both adults have to be it. They have no choice. They have to be
I
it.
blame hormones actually because it's hormones that cloud. Yeah, I blame hormones because
Now it's the hormones.
no. I blame no not for just the guy. I blame the hormones for the two of them.
Okay.
Because if normally you suppose carry your thinking faculty go this thing, but maybe it's because of the whole process of the sexual arousal, that the fact that blood is being pumped to certain part of the body, reducing the blood flow to the general part of the body.
So the other parts become dead
That's what I'm saying. It could be that the other faculties are not functioning like
at
that,
that
and I
point.
think maybe that's why it was in a man because everything is pumped to the blood is pumped to the penis
Down
to
south.
sustain the eruption,
Okay.
and it might have taken some blood supply to
The
and
brain.
you know that the whole process of erection and even ejaculation is more controlled by the spinal cord than like the brain. So, what were you thinking when you did it? There was no much blood in my brain. Are you
You're
sure I
not
was
thinking of
thinking?
anything. Okay.
Okay, but you guys, everybody needs to be careful and call themselves to order and ask for consent. Please don't allow this thing, the hormones, to override you. You know what happens after you've achieved what you want? What do they call it?
Post nothing clarity.
Yeah, post nothing clarity after you've noted. Yeah. So maybe you should have that clarity before you actually not.
Okay, if they will hear. Another harmful sexual practice is violent sexual acts or fetishing.
Choke me, kill me,
All
finish me.
those. Okay, put it in the English with the BDSM.
Okay, no, but no, sorry. Before you say it's harmful, you talked about consent. I've seen ladies who've spoken to me personally. I'm like, "See, what's enjoyment of sex if I'm not choked?"
Oh, wow. Those people, they like being in bondage.
And I'm like, okay, you love being choked, right? Or something like, what's sex without being spanked or beaten or hit and stuff, right? This thing, this thing I'm saying are things that
It,
happen.
it happened
Yeah.
definitely. There are people that love it.
So if it happens this way, you talked about it being harmful practices.
It's a harmful
If
practice.
so, does that mean that I indulge them? Because I'm like, this is my girl, or this is somebody I want to be with, and I'm supposed to make her enjoy it, right? And she said, this is the way she enjoys
This
it.
is she likes
And
it.
I indulge her the way she enjoys it.
Okay, let
Am
me
I being
make
harmful
it
to
clear.
her?
Let's make it clear. This the bondage, dominance, or we have discipline, we have sadism, and
Discipline. Children, when you allow me their parent discipline, then see where they can go discipline. Go on.
and we have the last one, the M1, the masochism.
Yeah.
Now, there are violent sexual practices that some people enjoy. Either they enjoy being punished or they enjoy giving out the punishment. But it can be done in a safe way where they can create safe words, they can create boundaries where if it gets too extreme, they can call it quits for that moment. And they can also provide aftercare for that period because definitely you have bruises. So you have to have proper modalities in place to take care of yourself afterwards. So it becomes harmful where one party was not made to understand the extent to which this BDSM would be doing him or her.
Okay.
So once they now enter and they realize, oh, I did not expect this, they can be traumatized. Yeah.
So, but we're looking at that. You come in because you can't really know the extent of this thing until you
That's why the
experience
safe
it.
word should be there.
Okay, say
They
what
should
like stop, oh,
I don't
Akwelo,
know.
Ankano.
Anything. Some people that will be like,
Ah,
when I say stop,
Uwo.
don't listen to me. I am just
Okay, now
joking.
that's another thing you're pointing out. When I was a kid, we used to have this proverb. I'm gonna say it. So the thought is said, when I say bom 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 bom,
And
it means
that,
that. When I say
yes.
tan tan tan, it means bop. Like
But,
that's the opposite of the whole stop. So
yes.
how do I know? You know this thing that girls will be like, stop it, I like it. No, 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 I'm
Yes,
serious. All
I
those
know
stop it, I
about
like
it.
it vibe. So somebody will be like, you're killing me, or and you be like, should I stop? You're like,
No,
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 don't
no, don't
stop.
stop.
So help me to help you. I'm saying this. Hello, guys. I'm saying this on behalf of all of the guys. How do we do in the context where this kind of thing is like happening? Okay, let's talk like be like, see, you're killing me, or you're killing me, and I'm like, stop. Or it's paining me, it's paining me. I'm like, normally it's human nature that if I'm with somebody and you say it's paining you, I'm supposed to
Supposed to
stop
stop,
whatever
withdraw.
I was giving that stimulus. And they be like, yeah, wicked, why did you stop?
Yes, that's why
So
there
how
should
do
be
we draw a line?
a proper communication. Some people even go as far as signing documents when they want to go into that dominant and submissive relationship.
Okay.
Yes. So you have to understand the extent to which the activity can go, how painful it can get, and how much you are willing to endure. There should be a clear definition of your roles. And there should be words that you'd be like, okay, maybe I may forget this one, I may be saying stop, but I don't actually want you to stop. Which one do you, maybe a particular word that is distinct from stop? Maybe cat or red or maybe mentioning colors, anything, but it's not stop because maybe you're saying stop in the height of pleasure, but you don't actually mean the stop. So unless you are someone that you mean your stop and your partner also understands it, so there should just be a clear definition of the protocols.
Okay, so you okay, that's true. Having the right communication and knowing like where to draw the line, having
Yes.
the right protocols in place. If possible, please sign book, sign book.
Yes,
Bring a
sign
lawyer
no
to come and sign
document is
book.
very, very important
Yeah,
because
so that tomorrow
breach of
you
contract.
yeah, so that when you know the next day you will not say this happened and this does not happen. So, but when we're looking at these kinks and fetishes, right?
Okay.
I'm looking at from the aspect of the fact that could it be like a form of harmful to someone? You have a kink which might not be harmful literally, but it may traumatize me.
Exactly.
Let me give you a context so that people that have a kink for blood,
Okay.
right? So they could want a little bit of bloodletting. They don't mind having
Like
sex with people
vampires.
who
Ha.
are, yeah, they don't mind having sex with, for example, people who are menstruating. You see, that's the same question I want to ask, right? So, do we still classify that into harmful practices? If I have a kink or fetish that doesn't sit right with you,
Okay.
please note, you're not my partner, for example, right? But maybe you just got to know, or for example, an exhibitionist, right? I love to show my genitals, for example. I love people. So you come around my space.
And
You
you're
know,
always
like for
naked.
example, like people come to people's houses. People comes to people's houses and maybe see people naked, right? Does this form part of like harmful sexual practices?
Yes. Capital yes. Why would you be assaulting someone's eyes with
In my personal space,
of course, it's still assault. That's sexual assault.
in my personal
Technically.
space.
Yes. You are expecting a visitor and you two aren't married for you to get used to each other and seeing your nakedness. So if someone has a kink for blood, for dirty armpits, for smelly hair, whatsoever it could be, let the person know. And you are sure the person is okay with it.
Okay, I love them because sometimes I say okay because sometimes if I tell someone I'm like, see, if you come to my house, I always walk naked. For example, I just let you know you come to my house, 80% of the time you're gonna see me naked in my house, in my own personal space, except for whatever reason I have not to. Right. So and coconut hate generation, some people will still want to come.
Find out.
So what happens in the context of I've told you before?
Now it's on the person.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you dey go person house and person tell you say na
It's
see
on
they
the
happen for my
person.
house, right? Because I used to see things like, oh, like I told you, if you come to my house, we'll knock. Although I know that's not consent, by the way. But then it's also left for you to hold yourself responsible that if someone has explicitly told you what it is about a particular place you're going to, maybe his house, maybe a party. People tell people like this kind of party we're going, this is the kind of things that will happen.
That is going to happen, and you know very well.
And you carry your two beautiful legs. Carry your two beautiful legs
And
and
go in
handsome
there.
legs and walk in there. You might also be putting yourself in danger.
That brings me to another harmful sexual practice. It's not really common, or we may not really know it as a thing. Bugging. You just poking around to see if this thing is actually true. You are told this is what's going to happen, but you still want to find out. Seeing is believing. And it comes to that case where people would like to sleep with someone they may feel is not actually infected with HIV, just to see
If the person is
if the
infected.
person is infected,
Ah,
if they're
people
going
they
to get
take
it.
risk. Oh.
Exactly. Why would you, in your normal sense, want to try such? So they just go around poking to see if they
So
can
do
actually
we count
come.
this to the girls that go around the guys out and see if he's a
If
man?
he's a man, or if he actually sleeps on the first day. All
Oh,
those, you're actually calling the rain to yourself. You are told it's going to happen. Whether it's going to happen or not, you have no business. Just know it's going to happen and respect yourself if you don't want. Not afterwards, you now cry, rape.
please, you should say it again because there are a whole lot of people that say, go and sleep. Let me see if he's a man. Let me see if he's active and all. Except you people have had a prior agreement
Yes,
that I'm, as
exactly.
you know, as I'm coming, maybe condition on no make crayfish bend. That's why I'm coming to your place. As I'm coming, this should happen. This should happen. Or this is what I'm not expecting, and the rest. It's
Yes.
essential that you put yourself out there. You really, really do help yourself because oftentimes you may suffer consequences even beyond what is actually happening to them. But most of these things come after postmortem clarity, after everything has finished.
You'll be like, oh, that was so foolish of me. Too late.
And it's not the hormones you should blame.
Blame yourself.
Yeah. But the hormone is part of me.
Okay. Well, if you've come to a certain level of awareness, self awareness, you can distinguish between hormones and what you actually want.
So for you that is looking for postmortem clarity, I'm saying this especially to the men because they do it a lot. Let me do it so that after let me release it. Let me see if this is just lost, if it's just infatuation.
Yes,
So that when I'm done, I can know if I really
I
love
really
you.
love.
My sister, run. That's a scam. So it's like one of these lies that guys tell men, like the one they use blue balls. They have blue balls. They say, I'm feeling pain, I'm having erection. If I don't have sex, I'm going to die to explode. It's a lie.
That's not
Nobody's
true.
dying. Nobody has died from the day of Adam. Nobody's
Thank
still
you.
going to die. So when you
Thank
see
you.
things like this, I know they use this very much on very young girls
Or
who are just
naive
young,
girls.
naive girls who are just coming up I remember. Okay, so let me share this. So I think last year, maybe 2 years ago, a
Okay.
comedian, very popular comedian in Nigeria, did a skit on that line where it was like the girl came and was like, "Bestie, what's wrong with you?"
Yes.
And he was like,
I remember that
yeah.
show.
So and people tagged me. And I went to the comment and I explained the whole process there. And you need to see the number of men that came and were like, why are you casting our updates? You calm down now. Why are you doing this?
I
My
understand.
job here is to cast updates. I break back. All those things are hiding. Same thing also. Women also have some updates.
What's the update?
We can't cast all of them in one day now. Yeah,
Okay.
let's remain in
There are
one
more
episode
shows.
to
No
to
problem.
cast it.
Another harmful sexual practice that we can think of is sexual trafficking, commercializing sex.
You brought two things together: sexual trafficking and commercialize. A whole lot of people are commercializing sex.
Yes, it's a
They
harmful
say if you
sexual
cannot take care
practice.
of your bill, if you cannot pay for your bill, it doesn't deserve to have your purpose. Yeah.
Well, because they do it does not make it right. It's harmful.
Okay.
Yes.
So where do we draw the line with um commercialization? Now let me say this. I think if you check one of my podcast episodes, I was talking to someone in that space who takes care of people that sell sex actually, and
Okay.
she was talking about the fact that some people argue that all of us sell sex. Yeah, with your faithful boyfriend, you go to
Okay.
his house, you guys do, and you're leaving, and like, thank you for coming. collect 5,000 and pay transport.
Oh,
And then the other one be like, okay, I don't finish. You put me my 5,000 for hand. Some people will argue that
that's either way.
the
So you're
both people,
selling
these people are
sex.
collecting money for this business
Okay. So how about those people who are understanding girlfriends?
and they don't collect money.
Yeah, the man does not have money. But either ways, she's being a faithful girlfriend.
No, no, what I mean is commercialization, you're giving sex in exchange
Yes, that's when it's actually a business.
transaction. No, no, I
Yes.
just want to know where we define it. Is it in the intent? Is it in the thought? Some men have come to the point where they feel like, if woman come my house, maybe knock for example, I supposed
I
to give
have
her
to
something.
give, even without, there are men naturally that if someone comes to the house, even without the sex, they still give. At that point, it's not all about, it depends on the person's intent. Yes.
Okay, is the intent.
Yes.
Okay, so that means we can't really know who is commercializing sex because I could tell you that I went to meet Alaji. If I'm a lady and Alaji, I didn't want Alaji's money. Alaji was like, they were too beautiful.
Yes, and just
Collect
give.
50 million. Right?
Yes.
I could claim that. That means I'm not commercializing
No,
sex.
you're not.
Oh, wow.
You're not.
So how
It's
do
it
you?
becomes a commercial where you have a plot of land you want to buy, and you make it a point of duty to meet about 10 men
I don't say plot of land. There are more after weeks and
weeks.
phones.
Some people actually go to men for
Sorry if you buy
their
plot of
future.
land. Okay.
Yes. Some people they'll be like, okay, my mom is sick. So
Okay, let
they,
me
they,
do
they
this. Get
would
the money.
now go into that for the
Ah,
quick money
and apologies
to
for
take care
this
of the
because it's looking
family.
as if it's like women, men commercialize it too.
Ah, yes. So
Yeah.
sugar mummies.
Yeah, you have to see men nowadays. Even if it's not sugar mommy, sometimes you see men. I'm saying this. You go on social media and you see men who'll be like,
Oh, I thought you
they,
were about to say men to men.
yeah, even men to men.
Oh
That's
dear.
another part to go. But you see men who like look for rich ladies, right? Now, let me flip the script on two ways. You see a lady and then looking for it. You're like, what can you offer this rich guy? They're like, am I not enough? Like, look at what I'm carrying. Is this package not enough?
Okay.
Now, also for the men, why? I be like, me? They call me Nakademus now. I dey knack waiting no good. Who be carpenter for where I dey? You understand? I dey knack on a normal. So both men and women commercialize it. So most times you always feel as if it's like
Okay.
women.
That's the same way talking about the blame part. That's always
Yeah,
men, men,
yeah.
men.
So
Okay,
we
now
always
this
talk
other
about
part.
women. If even if you go on the street, even if you go on the street, there are boys who are selling it. There are boys who do. You go on social media now. That's just what they do. So just like we
Yes.
have women who maybe wait in the evening and go out, there are boys like that. They do escort services. You need somebody you call and they
Okay.
go. So it's something that happens. It's something that happens on both parts. And the truth is, protect yourself, keep yourself safe. Right? We're not here to be your moral compass as to what you should do or what you should not do. But then we are here to tell you that the more sexual partners you have, the more you put yourself at harm.
Yeah,
Right?
because the more you have, you may be having lesser time to think about condoms. And also remember something:
Okay.
prolonged sex, anal sex, they are still part of harmful sexual practices.
Prolonged sex. So
Yes.
2 hours that I used to last is a problem now. In quotes, not me actually. People say they last 2 hours.
Yeah.
You remember the last event I hosted that was
Yes.
co-sponsored by this podcast. I'm even wearing House Without Shame. Where somebody came up and said that he came for a sexual and reproductive health workshop just to learn how to last for 8 hours.
Oh dear.
If you are
Are you sure
seeing
you want to?
this, if you are
You want to
seeing this, which I know
survive?
you will see this. I know the person who will see this is the person is a he, an ardent follower. So I know he's going to see this. Please don't try to last for 8 hours. You are doing
Thank
yourself
you.
more harm than good.
Better.
You're doing yourself more harm than good. Somebody will
So
tell you if you don't do 20 hours, please, please.
even the woman, she won't last for that long.
But the thing with anal sex,
Yeah. Now to that, anal cavity is more fragile
okay,
than the vagina.
okay,
So it is prone to tears and rupture. Now, when people are being they are in that high horse of sexual pleasure, they may not want to stay and consider these things. They just want to
Penetrate.
penetrate, yes. And they're exposing themselves to tear. That's why you can see all these men having sex with men, mostly coming down with having to wear pampers, adult diapers, or having injury.
Yeah, so many problems. But
Yeah.
also on the flip side, anal sex is a form of sex. And like every sex, it comes with its risk.
There are ways to go about it in the
Okay.
healthy way. There is a movie that actually portrayed that, but the movie did not explain it as much as its book did. There are ways to go about if there is patience and love, tender loving care, and you actually want to go ahead with your anal sex.
Patience,
Patience.
tender, loving care.
Yes. Because that place needs to be prepped over time. You can start. Do you think I should write a book on that?
Maybe you should. Maybe you should. But I'm listening. I'm listening. I've already written, taken note of patience and tender, loving.
Okay. If one is really interested in having anal sex, it's very pertinent to take care to make the area warm and receptive. And it's not going to be a day's job.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like you trying to split when you've never split. That stuff that
Yeah,
children
I
do
like the
very
split.
easily.
Yeah.
If you are a teenager and you've not done that in a while, you would be stiff. So what would be recommended is warm baths, warm up exercises to make your muscles relax and free. Then from there you can now start slowly. Same thing with the anal sex. You can have the warm bath. You can now have their anal balls.
Okay.
You can start with using that.
Slowly.
Then some might include fingering, making the place comfortable before you can now have to use a lubricant still before the
Yeah, because there's no
penetration.
secretion. There's no
Yes.
secretion over there.
So that way, over weeks, you can get the area prepped enough for a safe anal experience.
All right. So they say you need to have patience. You need to love it, tender. Okay. And you need to also know that it's not a day's thing. You need to prep. You need to prep. You need to prep for you to be able to use it. It's not just something that you wake up and you jump inside.
Yes.
Right. And you need a whole lot of lubrication. Lubricants. Lubricate, lubricate, lubricate. The penetrator and he who is penetrated needs to really,
Or she.
yeah, or she who is penetrated needs to really, really, really lubricate themselves. It's true because even the way it's going, even she now do
It's mostly okay. Let me not say okay. Some she's they like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So some she's do penetrate he's penetrate
But
he's.
I'm not in support of same sex penetration or genital meet and greet.
Yeah, that's your perception, but the people out there may tell you that that is not their perception. So we also move to another harmful sexual practice that has to do with toys.
Okay, that's using of toys
Yeah,
or objects
yeah,
instead
toys
of
or objects. Now we have first is toys, use toys, because like toys is like it
okay.
has been formulated to fit with whatever it is you're doing. Now I'll start with object because object doesn't make sense. It may go wrong fast. We're now seeing people using fruits like cucumber, carrot. Part of it get lodged inside their body. Some of them require surgery and the rest. And
Yeah.
you can't really talk about the hygiene
Of those objects.
of this stuff. So objects, no. Some people are
No,
using.
it's not a no. You can't say that. Some couples that they have to be apart, they don't have to
No, I said objects. I don't mean
objects.
toys. Objects.
Okay.
Objects like fruit should be a no because it can go wrong.
Okay, yeah.
It can go bad at
Before
any
you know
time.
it, you are being wheeled
I
to the
watched a
hospital.
video. I don't know if that was the back end of a brush.
Oh dear.
So it's crazy the things that, especially for ladies, it's crazy the things that are sitting there, right? But then we have toys. Now, even with the toys, you should also be.
Hygienic, conscious.
So if you're using the one that uses electricity, if it shock you,
Oh dear.
if it shock you,
While you're trying to be pleasure.
yeah. So you can be shocking. You think that it's actually the shock.
And you go
You
into
think
the
it's a
afterlife.
vibration from the pleasure. You don't know that you are vibrating to the afterlife. So that's one thing. Electrical shocks, I think. No, people will think that this is a joke, but it's true. Electrical
Yes.
shocks, I think, while using sex toys. Right? And we know, we especially African, most time we don't even follow the instructor's manual. We just take it, want to use it how we want to use. Sometimes they may say use it with this voltage or with this kind of. You say no, you want to plug it everywhere, and that may become burns also happen.
Yes.
I think I've seen a video like that. A lady plugged
Um,
a vibrator, and maybe due to
the
electrical fault, it
voltage.
started. So think of if it was inside and the fire started.
Hmm.
No, don't worry, don't think. Stop imagining. Don't imagine it again. So that could happen. And also, some people don't even know they can still pass diseases through sharing,
Of course, definitely.
even through storage. So you just do it. The pleasure has been achieved.
Oh, I even forgot the part of disease. The anal sex is it predisposes one to having contracting sexually transmitted infections faster.
All right, because of the tears.
Yes.
So you throw it, and all of a sudden you just the next time you have the urge, you just go anywhere
And pick it.
and
Continue.
you put it. It becomes a problem. Becomes a problem. See, it's essential that you get the right thing. So use it the way that they say you should use it.
And you practice good personal hygiene.
Yeah, practice good personal and don't share if possible. Don't share. I know you people. I know we are Africans. We are communal in our nature, but that's something. Not everything you should share. It's not, but some people have already called those dildos and those vibrators. Yeah, man, be stingy with your man. Be stingy with your man, please. So
Nah.
just like we say, don't share man, don't share woman, don't share it, don't share it. Just try and be stingy with it.
Okay. Do you think early sexual escapades are a form of harmful sexual
Yeah, they
practices?
are.
Okay.
Now, what defines early should be the problem.
Early, below the teenage, below 18.
It's a risk factor for a whole lot of things, like cervical cancer is a risk factor for cervical cancer.
Okay.
Now, away from the fact that the organs may not be fully developed, you may feel, there's a part where the organs develop, is the part where the hormones come first, most times before the organ get themselves fixed up, right? So you may feel the urges and everything based on the thing, but the organs may not be fully developed. That's a big problem.
Okay.
Right. So they're the ones that are more prone to fistula, right? As the case
Yes,
may be.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So they're more prone to like
So
fistula.
even early child marriage
Yeah,
and
it's
from
still a
there,
problem. And then you talk about consent. People like that can give consent.
of course.
People like that are easily coerced. People like that are easily manipulated.
Yeah.
Right. So either it's coercion by force or maybe by blessing. So you sit there like, come, let me go and buy biscuits, and then a long term damage will
Another
start.
complication, recurrent urinary tract infection.
Yeah.
Even with that female genital mutilation, it can also give one that opportunistic.
Yeah, so we have this issue. So a child has nothing to do. A child should have nothing to do with sex.
Thank you.
Everybody
Thank you
should
so
get to a
much.
point where they can have like consent and be able to like give consent.
But no, they want to eat the child young.
And the flip side too, the child wants to explore young.
Wait, do you think a child would be on their own and just wants to explore young?
No, I don't believe so.
Exactly.
Now let's flip this.
Environment.
Now, I'm not making. When I say this, oftentimes people used to frown out, but you know that basically a child can try to seduce an adult.
It depends on the child's exposure, prior exposure.
Now, so we don't want to go on the exposure. Let's start with the seduction, like I usually say. Now, this is in no way an excuse for anybody to abuse a child. Because it's expected that you as an adult should
Be able
know
to
better than the
draw the
child.
boundary.
But let us not also let us not try to be naive or not face reality. Like I was speaking, just concluded board child conference, I told them. If you see a child and you say he doesn't know about sex, you're lying to yourself. It's you trying to be ignorant. It's you trying to live in denial. Because they know social
Or
media,
cover up for
street,
what you want.
everybody is pushing this thing at them. So most of these children already, like you talked about, it could be environment, it could be abuse, whatever has given them this perspective.
Yeah.
I have this from interacting with a whole lot of secondary school teachers. I'm saying this to both male and female.
Okay.
Male secondary school students trying to seduce their teachers, the female. Female
Yes.
secondary students trying to seduce their male teachers. I see it happen a whole lot. I do a whole lot of outreaches in schools, and I see this thing happen. Right? So now, this is not an excuse, but this is something that we should look at. That we should also bring out modalities to help these children to reverse whatever has been done to them. Like you said, is exposure, they are abused. So if you were abused and you have to be this way, let's bring out modality. In as much as we're trying to We're not trying to. We are telling the adults, do not in any way indulge a child. No matter how much you say she looked red, she was the one that brought herself
That
to
brought,
me. He was the
yes.
one that did it. He was walking naked in front of me. All those things. It doesn't count. But then also, we need to help the child. Because the thing is, if you do not help that child, claiming he's a child, that child will become an adult. So if this was 13, 14, 15, in 3 years, he or she is an adult. So now, she was protected. So what will she do? She'll now have to force herself or himself on the younger ones if it wasn't done. So that's the issue with early exposure, by the way. Children who are exposed early, especially if it's trauma. In fact, most early exposure is trauma. It's
Yeah, it
abuse. In
is.
fact, any early exposure is abuse, not most. Any is abuse. Now, because it was early, most of them end up being addicts. And most abusers, especially when they don't go through the right psychological help, tend up to also be abusers.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
true.
why you see a man who has become schooled and has attained different level, both career-wise, academically, sometimes politically, will sit down and tell you he wants to marry a 12-year-old, and you wonder what's wrong. It's abuse talking.
Okay.
It's abuse. Because on a normal, you shouldn't. What will you think will make you? What do you think will make you be attracted to a child? I was in a session. I was in a session with some guys. We're just talking about this issue of abuse, and a psychologist was sharing his story, right, about a guy who is attracted, who gets sexually aroused by a baby crying.
Wow. That's a mental disorder.
It's a mental disorder, but on investigation, it was realized that he was forced to be in a place where a baby was sexually abused.
Oh.
So the memory lingered. So that's how the human body is wired. So he couldn't do anything about it then because he was a child, but saw what happened. But at the back of his mind, there's been a wiring that cry, sexual arousal, cry. So now, I'm not making
That's really
excuses for him.
sad.
I'm not
I
making excuses for him.
understand.
But look at that kind of a man coming to have children. His daughter cried, yeah, and the next thing they see the penny start getting rectangular. Like, the next thing they say is the devil. Which devil? So
Oh dear.
these are the reasons why anything you do with a child, you're doing more harm. In fact, there's no good. You are doing more harm because it's a form of abuse and it will play on in the future. People like this need help. The child that is abused need help.
And they should
Who
also
is
agree they
abusing?
need help
Who is
and go for the
abusing need
help.
help. If they don't want to agree, they need help. That's why the law is there. And thank you for the law. The law doesn't show mercy to all those people. Those people need to be put at the right place.
All right. Thank you for that. I can think of something else. I think it's still related to using of objects. That one
Okay.
is using of toxic substances during sexual acts.
Alum.
Why?
People use alum to tighten vagina. It's a thing now in Nigeria. I don't know if in
Oh,
other
oh,
places.
oh, it's true. I think I remember that. Even use of cloves to make you feel like a virgin again.
The new one, snail. They slime from snail.
Oh,
I was discussing this on my on this podcast TikTok live. So for those of you joining us, if you're live on TikTok, we go live on TikTok on some days, and we get to interact. We're talking about people using. It was a story I was trending on social media, the Nigerian social media space, by the way. A man talked about how her husband brought snail and used it on her. She was having the best sex of her life. That snail is good. That's slimy.
okay. As the lubrication. Oh, I understand. I get the logic
Yeah, you get
now.
the logic. In fact, a Nigerian musician, was it a musician? But I know a Nigerian celebrity was talking about using alum, even put it in song. So these are the kind of things that people don't know. They introduce it to themselves.
Some people use petroleum jelly. They
Yeah.
may feel it, okay, or baby oil. Nope, nope, nope. Or the simplest, saliva.
Oh God. You don't know that you're transferring some microbes. So in as much of them are natural flora, but when they change environment, they become a
It's a
problem.
different environment from
Like I said,
oral
yeah, I think
cavity.
this was on one of our episode podcasts when we did it. If you look at our episode that was aired in December around the Hamatan, I said it. If somebody brings saliva close to you,
That person
don't be
hates you.
violent, but please stop the person. Because if I ask you to be violent, there are some things. Don't be violent, just stop the person. So these are some of the things that we should know. So thank you so much, Fam Yese, for coming. Thank you for being with us on this episode of the Intimate Matters podcast, where we explored some harmful sexual and reproductive health practices. We've been able to know that these are things that are detrimental to our sexual and reproductive health, not just our sexual and reproductive health, even our physical health, even our psychological health, emotional health, even our social health. because it can affect
Yes.
relationship
With fellow people.
between individuals. And we had an amazing person in the house. We had pharmacist Yesi Odion in the house who was here, to share from our wealth. Our wealth. She was scooping some part from our well of knowledge and with us. And we hope that this episode is something that really informs you, something that you were doing. If there are other ones that we may not have touched, you can put it on the comment section.
Yeah, there are lots
Yeah,
more.
put them down in the comment section. I will be glad and to discuss it, to explain it. Other people coming to watch are going to be saying this, and do well to share this video, share it to your friends, share it to your loved ones, even share it to your enemies. Yes, share it to them so that they know, so that they will not die early. Right? Your enemies need to stay alive and see you make
Prospering.
it. Yeah. So they need to so share it to them so that they can stay alive. And do follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We go live on TikTok, we go live on even on YouTube, we go live on Facebook. Do well to join us, follow us, and then we'll have this interaction. Also join our WhatsApp group. There you can interact with us. You could ask questions, you could make suggestions of topic that we should talk about. It's always a pleasure that we come and we discuss matters that pertains to your intimacy, because we know that your intimacy matters a lot, and that's why we call ourselves the Intimate Matters
Intimate
Podcast.
matters.
And until we come your way next time, I am your host on this podcast, Nurse Aqua Walkman, and that is goodbye for now.